Good morning, beloveds. It's springtime and the temperature keeps doing this. So it's 55 degrees today, which was fantastic because it felt really good to be out in the sunshine, but it was cool enough that I got to wear a jacket. So, and the wind was blowing and all the neighbors have the whirligigs out, but they were spinning in the wind and the birds were singing, and I saw a brief glimpse of the cardinals that live in our neighborhood, and that was it. He was in a place where I could have taken a good picture of him, but by the time I got close enough to take a good picture of him, he had moved. That's what it is with birds, right? Okay, it is April 19th. Our title is The Constant Prayer. The quote from the Bible is "Pray without ceasing," which is 1 Thessalonians 5:17. And from the Science of Mind text, "As we daily meditate upon this indwelling God, we shall acquire a greater mental equivalent." And that is from page 306 in the text. The regular practice of meditation is perhaps one of the most beneficial disciplines we may undertake. Through meditation, we achieve an expanded awareness of our total being. Rather than escaping from the world when we meditate, as some people may imagine, we enter more fully, more completely into an experience of living. We discover talents and abilities we were not previously aware of, and our personality assumes a new dimension and color. Mystics throughout the ages have made this spiritual discipline an integral part of their everyday lives. For instance, Brother Lawrence, who spoke of practicing the presence of God, did so in a monastery kitchen. He recognized as much divine activity in the washing of pots, pans, and dishes as he did in prayer before an altar. When not occupied in the kitchen or in prayer, he walked daily through the streets, extending a loving greeting to each person he met. He had learned how to ascend mentally to the mountaintop, then return to the world and be of service to others. By following the example of Brother Lawrence, each of us can bring an added spiritual dimension into today's busy world. And one way that we can carry the atmosphere of our morning meditations into our workplace is by paraphrasing, in present-day language, Brother Lawrence's kitchen prayer. God in me uses all telephones, typewriters, computers, and photocopiers to transform these lifeless instruments into vehicles for the expression of love. It's BB. It's Bill Barnes, because immediately I wanted to say Bill Birch, which is a member of our center that has been gone for a while now. And so I had that blink, and yeah, he's clearly been on my mind lately. Bill Birch. It is Bill Burns is the writer, but Bill Birch has been on my mind because I've tried twice to look up a particular company, and Bill Birch's contact information comes up in my phone. So, it is what it is. Okay. So we'll deal with the prayer in a minute, because now I want to look up Brother Lawrence's prayer and if that is actually it, because yeah, it's not even, this was done in 1990, so that prayer is not even, modern anymore. Times change so fast. But I want to go back to the constant prayer, because what Bill Barnes talks about is meditation. But with the title being Constant Prayer, and then them using quotes from Thessalonians, "Pray without ceasing," I'm going to go a slightly different track, and then we'll go back to meditation. First off, when we talk about praying without ceasing, what we want to do is, what we want to point out, I guess what I want to point out is my understanding of pray without ceasing. Every thought is creative. Ernest Holmes says every thought can be creative. What it has to do with is what is treatment, but thought wrapped in feeling. The more creative a thought has to do with how much emotion is wrapped around that thought. So if we are going to pray we are literally praying without ceasing. It's about being conscious of our thoughts, being conscious of how every thought could be creative, and how frequently we are praying unconsciously. How when we get caught in a strong emotion, we are activating, we are praying, and we are doing it unconsciously. And so the value of meditation is conscious. And so we talk about weeding our garden. We talk about the trend of our thoughts. We talk about how every little thought you have isn't necessarily creative, but frequently we have creative thoughts that we are unaware of how creative they are because we are caught in strong emotions. And so the benefit of regular spiritual practice, especially meditation, is to balance our head and our heart, to balance our thought and our emotions, so that when our emotions run away with us, because they're bound to, we're human, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And so, yes, absolutely, our emotions are going to run away with us, that we have the spiritual fortitude via regular spiritual practice to understand our thoughts are creative, especially when our emotions are running away with us, and to choose our thoughts more cautiously. My cats are jockeying for position and they caught my attention. Sorry. So, and that is praying without ceasing. Every thought that you have has the potential to be creative. It has to do with how much emotion you are wrapping around it. And if that gives you pause about the thoughts that you have when your emotions are strong, that's a good thing. Because now you are aware of it and you can take steps to manage them, I guess is what I want to say, and to understand that you are literally praying without ceasing. And to be much more conscious of your thoughts. And that's why I talk about the trend of your thoughts. The individual weeds are not the issue. It is the trend. And if your emotions are running away from you, and your thoughts when your emotions are running away from you are negative, then you are praying. And you are praying for what you don't want. So, now that you're aware of it, you can make changes. And that is the biggest thing, is becoming aware. And if the trend of your thoughts is wonderfully and healthy and wonderful, then great, keep it up. Continue to pray without ceasing in that manner. So, let's go back. So the constant prayer. Pray without ceasing, 1 Thessalonians 5:17. You've heard my thoughts on it. And then from the Science of Mind textbook, as we daily meditate upon this indwelling God, we shall acquire a greater mental equivalent. When we know who we are, we do better. When we engage in regular spiritual practice, i.e. meditation, then we are going to do better. We are going to enlarge our mental equivalent. And that's from the Science of Mind textbook 306. Okay, so the regular spiritual practice, or the regular practice of meditation, is perhaps one of the most beneficial disciplines we can undertake. I said yesterday what I thought about meditation. Treatment is when we talk to God. Meditation is when we listen to God. All right? Through meditation, we achieve an expanded awareness of our total being because we are listening, because we are paying attention. It's a good time to take a look at our thoughts. It's like, what's that little thought that keeps cropping up? Because you look at them rather than dwell on them. Rather than escaping from the world when we meditate, as some people may imagine, not the point of meditation, we enter more fully, more completely into the experience of living because we can bring peace into our world. Meditation is very good about bringing peace, about allowing us to enter into that peaceful state that exists within us and bring that out into our material lives, especially when our material lives are chaotic. And when our material lives are chaotic and we bring peace in, we're going to live more fully. We discover talents and abilities we were not previously aware of, and our personality assumes new dimension and color. So I encourage you to find a meditation that works for you. Mind you, it is not necessarily just sitting lotus position, which is cross-legged on a pillow, staring at a wall. There's a whole wide range of different kinds of meditation. Please experiment till you find the 1, 2, 3 that really speak to you. Mystics throughout the ages have made this spiritual discipline an integral part of their everyday lives. And then he gives you the example of Brother Lawrence, who spoke of the practicing the presence of God, did so in a monastery kitchen. He recognized as much divine activity in the washing of pots, pans, and dishes as he did in prayer before the altar. And honestly, during Hurricane Harvey, that was one of the things that was very helpful for me. I had power. I could have used my dishwasher, but there was something about the being in front of the sink of warm soapy water, engaging all of my senses in washing the dishes and letting my mind rest. So my hands were busy doing something. All of my senses were busy doing something because I could smell the soap and I could feel the water. No, maybe not my sense of taste, but you know what I mean. There was the sound of the water, the running water as you rinse the dish. It was peaceful. It was calming. It was amazing. And so sometimes I washed dishes just because, like Brother Lawrence. All right. When not occupied in the kitchen or in prayer, he walked daily through the streets, extending a loving greeting to each person he met. I like to smile at strangers for that very reason. You know, it's like, hey, I hope you're having a good day. Let me share one of my smiles. He had learned how to ascend mentally to the mountaintop and then return to the world and be of service to others. Which is the point, right? It's like we do this regular spiritual practice to better ourselves and to better bring God into the world, to bring that love into the world. By following the example of Brother Lawrence, each of us can bring an added spiritual dimension into today's busy world. Because sometimes what people are crying out for is rest. And if you can be a place of calm, then they can get a moment's rest when they're in your presence. And sometimes you need that piece of calm, and so you go and find that person who in your life is that center of calm, and you rest in their presence. And one way that we can carry the atmosphere of our morning meditation into our workplace is by paraphrasing, in present day language, Brother Lawrence's kitchen prayer. So now I want to go look up Brother Lawrence's kitchen prayer, and then I want to update this one. Okay, so hang on. God in me uses all telephones, typewriters, computers, photocopiers to transform these lifeless instruments into vehicles for the expression of love. So God in me uses all telephones, computers, scanners, printers. What other instruments do we use in our job? iPads, cell phones, to transform these lifeless instruments into vehicles for the expression of love. I haven't seen an actual typewriter or photocopier in a while. Yeah. All right. Oh, may I have my hand back, please? Thank you. Well, that is Bill Barnes. And what is the mission today? Oh, okay. So the mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to carry the atmosphere of our morning spiritual practice, be that meditation or whatever it is, into our day. be it that we are going to work or anywhere else. It's to carry what we gain right here, right now, doing this into our day, all day. And it is a challenge some days because we will encounter challenging people. Sometimes we will be challenging people, but that's the mission, to carry that atmosphere with you. And right now I have a challenging cat. So, I'm also going to encourage you, as I always do, that in the spiritual practice of doing something loving for yourself, doing something kind for yourself, doing something compassionate for yourself, whatever it looks like. Big, small, does not matter. Point is doing it. Just like meditation, just like treatment, it will benefit you to practice it every day. It is about creating a habit. It is about creating a default setting. It's about creating a first response. It's also about recognizing you deserve your own love. You deserve your own kindness. You deserve your own compassion. Sometimes we have those days where the only love, kindness, and compassion we get is from ourselves. And so we can. I'm not going to shit on you. So, that is it. You want to make a world that works for everybody? You want to make a world that's a better place? Where do we start? With ourselves. In our own head and in our own heart. All right, beloveds. I am going to move into the process of my day, but as always, I'm going to encourage you to do something loving, to do something to engage your mind and your body, to go get that face full of sun, which you know I did this morning. Go and drink plenty of water. Hydration, super important. And to open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you do live in heaven right here, right now. It is all around you all the time. Because it is a state of mind. It is a state of consciousness. And one of the best ways to find it is to look for the good and praise it. Thank you, Emma. All right. Have you ever wondered the opening the windows of your soul? That's earnest. I got that out of, I think, the 365 book. So, the 365 Science of Mind book. Let me specify, because I'm on my third 365 book. All right, beloveds. Have a great day, an amazing day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, an amazing day, a wonderful day, a magical day, an enchanting day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day, because you are enough just as you are. You are a beloved child of God, in whom God is well pleased, always and forever. All right. If you want to know what's going on, email info@creativelife.org, and that will get you on the constant contact. That will get you so that you know what's going on, especially when I don't. It'll also get you all the hot links so that you can go right to whatever it is that you are interested in, especially when Reverend Jesse is teaching classes through home office. So, all right, beloveds. If there was something else, I don't remember it. So, catch us on the social medias. We are Creative Life Spiritual Center or Creative Life Spark. I am the running Rev Ryan on the social medias. We got playlists, all kinds of great content. We try and be as uplifting and inspiring as we can, and occasionally we succeed. Actually, I think I'm pretty good at it. I want to post stuff that makes me feel good so that you can share that. So I make a real effort to do that. Okay. Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you. I'll be back with you at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Take care of yourself. Know that you're loved. And I will see you next time.